Hello, this is Dr. Sudarshan Ray, bringing to you the latest in the series of psycho-educative videos which are solely aimed at raising awareness about common mental health issues amongst the masses. To begin with, there are no conflicts of interest, and these videos are solely aimed at raising awareness about common mental health problems or to get rid of misconceptions amongst common mental health terminologies and problems. And there are no conflicts of interest. For any sort of mental health problem, you should always consult mental health professional in person. But today we are going to discuss a very basic thing in which confusion exists, that is pleasure and happiness. Now, people frequently confuse pleasure as happiness, but that is not the case. Pleasure is something which is as a result of the reward mechanism being activated, the reward circuit being activated in the brain, and the neurotransmitter which is responsible for it is dopamine. Okay. Now this pleasure may be due to anything. I mean, it may be due to this maybe internet gambling. I'm talking about the bad things first. About internet gambling, this jungle dummy or something of that sort, and it may, if uncontrolled, and alcohol, taking drugs, addiction to porn, etc. All of these give pleasure. All of these give pleasure, and they are not long lasting. And obviously, after some time, you develop tolerance to it, and then you want more and more of the substance as you get less and less with the same amount of substance. So your drinking increases, your gambling increases, it goes out of bounds, you have no control. Your loss of control is there, which is one of the key reasons for addiction. Now people are actually more or less, they want reward, and this reward actually gives them the pleasure, and ultimately people get addicted to reward, and this addiction to reward is the harmful aspect. It results in more drinking and smoking, or even gambling, pornography, etc., etc. Okay, so and what happens in the neuronal side is that any sort of neurotransmission is is very taxing for the neuron. It's very taxing for the neuron. Okay, it may seem simple, a simple mechanism, but the neuron has to do a lot of hard work to get the transmission across. Now, in case of pleasure, when you are seeking pleasure, a dopaminergic surge is there. The dopaminergic surge, it actually makes the neuron work harder and harder and harder. And obviously, this affects the neuron, it makes the neurons tired, and ultimately it results in cell death. Okay, and that is one thing which is also responsible for tolerance developing. More quantities that required to get the same amount of pleasure. You get less for more. This is how it happens. The neurotransmitter which is responsible for happiness is serotonin, and this serotonin is actually a self-limiting neurotransmitter. I mean, you achieve something academically or professionally, and it makes you feel happy. Okay, it makes you feel happy. It acts as a motivator for more future such projects. It helps you to innovate, to improvise, and all sort of creativity. If you're talking about writing poems or anything, even in the acting sphere, performing arts, etc. So this is self-limiting. Once you achieve that, you feel satisfied. So you do not get addicted to happiness, but you do get addicted to pleasure. So happiness does not have the harmful effects, and obviously dopamine actually it affects the serotonin receptors. So there's less amount of serotonin, and with less amount of serotonin there's more depression. So it's a very, very vicious cycle. Okay, the increase in pleasure, this developing tolerance to pleasure, and obviously results in depression, anxiety, etc. So once you have understood this basic difference, you actually have to modify your lifestyle in such a way that you are actually creating happiness for yourself and others. As we say that nandito karo, okay, and obviously this creating happiness for others, creating happiness for yourself also, and happiness is usually achieved in a social context. For example, in a family, when you go out with the family and you enjoy an outing and then you're playing with your kids, that is happiness. That is happiness. And pleasure is that when you go for binge drinking in the bar or pub, or you go and visit a sex worker, and that is pleasure. And obviously, pleasure, if uncontrolled, as I said, it affects you, it affects your mind, it actually makes your nerves, the neurons work harder, they get tired and they die. So you should see that this should not actually happen, because you see this confusion, this relation to pleasure, it inhibits your judgmental capacities. Your prefrontal cortex is very much affected. It is very much affected, and the judgment between right and wrong is no longer there. I mean, what we say akin to a lizard, I have to get at any cost. I have to get that at any cost. That is pleasure. That does not happen in case of happiness. So that is harmful. It's a lose-lose situation for all of us. As I said, the ice cream cone, you lick it, a few licks, it's gone. You want more and more. Your dil mange more. I'm not talking about any soft drinks company, cash like. But in case of happiness, that fan, or even maybe even that air conditioning machine which controls the humidity, etc., inside your room, it makes you perform your work. It does not give you, a kick directly. It actually makes you perform the work which you're doing better. And as I said, the motivation, everything follows. So please, you actually pursue happiness and pursue less and less of pleasure. So till the next video comes in, do actually like, subscribe, share and comment this video. It will help raise awareness amongst the masses, and the viewers and the listeners are the real ambassadors with which we hope to raise awareness amongst the masses about these problems. So it's bye for my for now. Cheers.